Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are reviewing the new Map of record, The Isle of Ailynn. Map of, aka Tom Meikle, he is a Canadian singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and producer from Whitby, Ontario. Tom is a part of the Paper Bag Records label. He debuted his first studio album under the Map of moniker back in 2017 with A Northern Star, A Perfect Stone. I would consider Tom's music as alternative folk. I would compare him to the likes of early days Bon Iver when it comes to Tom's art pop instrumentation, and I would also compare his songwriting chops to Fleet Foxes. And then I would say that the vocals are a blend of those two contemporaries. But when it comes to Tom, he doesn't really have a unique voice when it comes to his vocals. It's more unique when it comes to what he's singing about on this record. In a folk genre that typically addresses the state of the world's reality, Tom takes the time to carve out a fictional world on the Isle of Ailynn. It doesn't really take much to realize that the album artwork and song titles are influenced by mythical themes. The record's visuals are truly breathtaking, as well as the imagery of the lyrics and really the tangible sense of inspiration surrounding this release. It is commendable. Tom actually wrote an essay outlining the conception of this album on his website. I'd recommend checking that out. I'll have it linked down in the description. But as a summary, Tom has been compelled to write about mythology, linguistics, astronomy, and psychology through the stories that he read while he was a young boy. He's realized over the years, regardless of the circumstances of language, political beliefs, scientific advancements, that stories in humanity have been told in the same way for thousands of years. And yeah, that doesn't change the fact that plots can be influenced by cultural phenomena. It's more often than not that you will find that common thread that can be found in each story to voice a human connection. And Tom, with the group Map of, he doesn't waste his time in the real world with real problems because he knows that he hasn't had much adversity in his life. He's been living in Canada with a family in a comfortable home. So instead, he chooses to express his frustration and concerns through a fictional world on the Isle of Ailynn, and that really does promote a fresh perspective. As a result, this is a concept record, and when it comes to concept records, I am pretty wary just because some of them end up being so inwardly focused and complex and maybe a little pretentious for their own good. But thankfully, I don't think that this album goes to that extent. It's not really tooting its own horn. Diving into the track list, it really is something that starts off as a soft and serene listening experience with the opening track, Estuary. Absolutely love the vocal processing on this track. And then we move into what I would say is like the title track, Ailynn. This is a beautiful piece of music. I adore the free-flowing structure, the dynamic, and just organic sense of songwriting. We have a serene backdrop while we have some finger picking on the acoustic guitar layered with electric guitar. The vocal layering is absolutely stunning. The tune is fantastic. The texture of everything is coated with graceful and silky colors. It's really wondrous and astonishing. Of course, this record isn't without its influences either. We have the song Kintail, which reminds me of a Young the Giant type song. I'm thinking of Firelight. Unkno is a song on this project that has a Justin Vernon influence from Bon Iver, but instead of being derivative, I see with this track at least that there is some unique and interesting string instrumentation that does switch up that kind of style. A major highlight on the Isle of Ailynn comes with the track Icovellavna. This is a 9-minute odyssey. The brass instrumentation is very warm and cozy. It gives you that feeling like you're being wrapped with a warm blanket. I appreciate the stop and start playing of the drums and guitar. There's a subtle electronic atmosphere on the synthesizers and the vocal processing as the track continues. It's almost like a colliding of two worlds of acoustic folk with electronic. This song is as much of a visual experience as it is a sonic experience too. I kind of envision this ruin or wasteland or barren of this alien planet before we travel into this really beautiful place where we have a tranquil flute solo. We even have an a cappella section at the end of this track. It's such an expanded song. We go through a whole bunch of different musical passages that are all really amazing. I feel like Icovellavna could have been the closing track, but what we do get as the closer is also pretty compelling too. Faesulae creates this glitchy Bon Iver aura. We have robotic vocals with like the clicks of an iPhone keyboard at the beginning of the song, or at least that's what I hear. The acoustic guitar playing is so heavenly though, and I just love that there's like this call and response between the channels, the left and right speakers. And of course, what would be the end of this album without like some subdued and gentle sounds? So yeah, overall with this Mappe record, it is so calm and delicate with its compositions. It's very intricate and detailed down to every last nook and cranny of the mix. The fictional world created by Tom is certainly challenging the way that folk is traditionally written. He strives for a more progressive approach with his songwriting and instrumentation, and he executes it for the most part. Now that being said, there are a couple tracks towards the middle of this project that lose my interest. They feel a little sleepy and dull for the record, almost like Tom is biting off more than he could chew with some of the expanded runtimes. But as ambitious as Tom gets with this record, it kind of is expected for it to be a little sleepy on that side of things because it is folk. Also, you should really know what you're getting yourself into after listening to the first song, because that sets the mood and tone for the rest of the album. Now, instrumentally, I have nothing but praise for this record. I gotta hand it to Tom. He's credited with playing the guitar, the bass, piano, organ, synthesizers, marxophone, percussion, and he programmed this album. He really just left it to the horns, winds, and string sections, which I have to say, those instruments get their moment to shine, including this incredible flute and clarinet-led musical passage. I am feeling a 7 out of 10 on this record. I guess the sleepy passages of this album got to me a little bit more than I anticipated, but I'm feeling a strong 7 out of 10. There's the album review of Mappe of the Isle of Ailynn. Make sure you sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you think of this music. Agree or disagree, I'm here to engage with you guys. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a rockin' day.